Critical theory. There's a bit of a trick with critical theory. Sometimes the term is used broadly, and other times it is used more narrowly to indicate a specific set of theorists and work that would fall under the broader umbrella definition. Let's take a look at both. Broadly, critical theory is a philosophical approach that seeks to marry theory and practice for emancipatory ends. When you hear the word emancipation, it is often included that the perspective you are engaging with is a critical one. Critical theory is aimed at changing circumstances that enslave human beings, liberating or emancipating people who are oppressed. This critical perspective sprang primarily from Marxism and the works of Marx and Engels, which focused on the analysis of class relations in capitalism, noting that workers, the proletariat, are oppressed by those who own the means of production, owners, or the bourgeoisie. And as workers gain consciousness of this oppression, they should revolt. Marxism asserts that modes of production, the reality of economic production, influences other social structures, which together enforce class oppression. The ontological assumptions of critical theory arise from historical materialist understandings of Marxism. Critical theory's ontology is rooted in historical realism, asserting a virtual or constructed reality shaped by power dynamics, including social, cultural, political, and economic forces. The more narrow use of the term critical theory relates to Marxism, specifically to a set of Marxist philosophers who were part of what was known as the Frankfurt School, and stretching from about 1929 with early proponents Horkheimer and Adorno to the late 20th century and later proponents Marcuse and Habermas. Horkheimer himself set the terms for what critical theory should be, requiring that it must 1. Identify a problem with the current social reality, 2. Identify who should change it, and 3. Set a framework for how to evaluate and improve it. While the Frankfurt School eventually died out, critical theory writ large has continued to survive, influencing and including any philosophical approach with practical aims to improve conditions for the oppressed, such as feminism, critical race theory, and some forms of queer and post-colonial theory. The epistemological basis of critical theory is a transactional or subjectivist one. Critical theory asserts that our understandings are unique, having been shaped through our interactions with others and our contexts. Unlike some other subjectivist perspectives, critical theory identifies our material and historical reality and power dynamics as central forces in shaping individual understandings. Knowledge for critical theorists should be questioned to identify the powerful forces that have shaped it in their interests. Therefore, critical theorists value knowledge and research that can identify the impact of such forces and undermine them through emancipatory practice. This requires that the knower be able to reflect on their own material and historical context, including the reality that research and research institutions themselves use their power to promote inequality. It is only in being insightful and explicit about how power flows and how it shapes our very systems, including language and the forms of communication used to share knowledge and research, that critical theorists can conduct work that will counter it.